Hey, welcome. My name is Jean Marie, and let's look at this old sketchbook. See if you can get some inspiration from any of these old drawings and paintings. Let's get to it, shall we? This appears to be some type of color pencil. My son asked me to do the first one in this sketchbook. This was supposed to be his sketchbook, but he actually only did this spread on the right and gave it up. So I finished it. Looks like some Tombow markers and some ink. I took it over and just started experimenting with some mixed media. Ink, watercolor, gouache. That is a metallic type of acrylic paint, craft paint. Very shiny. Gouache paint and ink. Gouache again with ink, but this ended up being a mess. Sometimes you just have to let go. Some gold metallic paint with some mixed media. I was doing a lot of collage back then with mixed media on top. This sketchbook was made in fall of 2021 to fall of 2022. So several years ago. And I'm just now getting around to filming it. That's some Tombow markers. We had some colored pencil on the one before. I actually don't know how to use Tombow markers well. I feel like maybe I'm not using them correctly. This is just some watercolor with some gel pens on top, metallic gel pens. I've noticed a theme of patterning and abstract organic shapes in my work. Still don't have a style locked down completely, but one day at a time. Those are Tombow markers as well. Colored pencil. Not much to say about that. Not one of my favorites. This had something underneath it and it was really ugly, so I just used some acrylic paint on top, but it's really sticky and cheap. This is probably one of my more liked ones. These octopus were watercolor with color pencil on top. And you can see it's 21. I definitely enjoy nautical and more beach-inspired things lately, but there's some remnants of that in this text, in this sketchbook as well. This was a cute idea, a woman kind of like putting her arm through a portal and reaching for the stars, but it's just not very pretty, is it? This is an attempt at Zentangle, and I got bored really quick and did not want to fill all that in. Sometimes my sketchbooks are more like an art journal. That one's personal. This is just colored pencil, loose. Probably just wanted to draw something that day. I do a lot of drawing just out of my mind. I don't, back then at least, even, I still do it now, like not using a ton of references, just kind of getting stuff on paper. I think is kind of fun sometimes, low pressure, to just make stuff, even if it's not perfect. This is, I was trying to do like environments, as you just saw the mermaid environment and then the witch's environment. And this is another environment, like a camping or, I don't know. Sometimes I just see something random and I try to draw it. This again shows Inktober 21. So this was fall time when this sketchbook was started. More color pencil. I think those did have references though. They look like they did. You can tell the ones that have references, they look a lot better. More floral explorations. This is just awful, really, but looking at color palettes, some organic shapes. The next like 10 pages are all Christmas things. I did a mini Christmas collection. And I worked all of these out, color palettes, trying to figure out how I wanted to do that. I like the pink one. That's probably one of the better ones. That's acrylic paint. I remember being like, this is terrible. And that's like gold paint. You can see some more patterning around that one. Colored pencil with like silver metallic bows. Colored pencil again. Still trying to get the metallics in there. Trying to come up with different tree shapes. My mom used to have these things that stuck out of the Christmas tree like peacock feathers, and I was trying to emulate that. Start design business 2022. Yikes, it's 2024 and I still haven't started it, so there you go. More patterning. I feel like I'm definitely closer though now. Colored pencil. That's a portrait of our house on the right. Sometimes I just like scribble and put paint on paper. Oh my gosh, these are awful. I don't even remember doing that. If I don't know what to paint, then I will just swatch if I really want to paint but don't know what to paint. Or I'll do stuff like that where it's like organic shapes, patterning. It's easy and it's better than not painting, I guess. These are all metallic watercolor set that I got. I was just trying out the colors. Gouache vegetables. More gouache. I still don't know how to use gouache well. Watercolor and gouache are my favorite mediums, but I'm like really don't know how to use them well yet. Oh, this is probably the worst one in the sketchbook. Yikes. Figure studies, mermaids that don't look like figures. Shells and fish. More sea critters. This is all watercolor and watercolor pencils that have been reactivated. Coral is actually really fun to draw and paint. More fish. Florals, I think, are an easy thing to just do loosely. They don't have to look anatomically correct to still be an enjoyable experience. So I think it's like a safe thing. I liked the idea of doing a bunch of like teacups. Oh my gosh, those fish. I do like the seaweed on the right though. This is probably the best spread, one of them. I like the color palette, the seaweed, the figure's not bad. More seaweed exploration. Then I went through this whole phase of like, I need to learn to rescue myself. So I was playing around with that idea with some lettering. did that. It's a bunch of different stuff. Same with this one. Just random. Watercolor drips. Practicing the wet and wet technique. I actually really like this one with like the old-timey shoes. I think that would be a cute surface pattern design. Leaves. This reminds me of Alice in Wonderland's flowers. Yeah, not much to say here. I tried to turn this into an oil pastel painting on canvas and it did not go well. I scrapped it. This one's not bad for a little sketchbook study. These are metallic colored pencils. It's hard to tell on paper. This is probably one of the better spreads as well. We were on vacation. That is a portrait of my son. We were at the beach. Fish. More watercolor techniques. Bunch of different floral and leaf shapes. Just experimentation. I'm wondering how many sketchbooks it takes to get to a really good one. Wrote a little story. Now some watercolor hearts, doing some more wet and wet. Animals are definitely not my strong suit still. We're into the fall of 22 now. I'm watching a lot of Miriam Tilson at this time. Did some portraits of my brother, watercolor. I don't remember doing this one at all. It's funny when you look back, like I don't remember a lot of these at all. This was supposed to be my brand name, Sketchbook and Paint. It's probably like the third or fourth one I've had. Those are cute little sketches though. I think I was Studio Jean Marie, then I was Sketchbook and Paint, and now I'm the Art of Jean. Some fall pumpkins, trying again with animals, watercolor, and then a fall little spread, cozy sweaters and such. Well, that's it. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.